All right, welcome back. It is a Gold Jacket Thursday, and what I would say is certain men were just born to hit, and this guy was that guy. He anchored the New Orleans Saints defense for 13 years. He transformed them into a playoff contender, 6 Pro Bowls as part of the Dome Patrol, perhaps the best group of linebackers ever assembled in pro football. He capped his career when he joined the San Francisco 49ers. He won a Super Bowl there. What a career for the second rounder in 1981, 128 sacks later, enshrined into Canton in the class of 2010, Pro Football Hall of Famer Rickey Jackson. Rickey, welcome back to Ohio.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be back, too. I just got a little weather here, but I'm still glad to be back.
Yeah, we treated you to a real Ohio winter, didn't we? I know for a kid from Florida, you probably never get used to this. And you played football in a dome, so maybe we'll start there. Were you a guy that relished a defender playing in bad weather, or were you a guy, like I said, from Florida who loved the dome and loved that climate-controlled football?
Well, it didn't really make me a difference. I played at the University of Pittsburgh, so I kind of got used to the bad weather outdoors playing at Pitt, so it didn't make a difference. All I wanted to do was line up and play.
Well, I'll tell you, let's go to Pittsburgh then. That was a great time for you, and you go there to the University of Pittsburgh, and you play in what a lot of people thought was the shadow of a future Lombardi Trophy winner in Hugh Green. How did that relationship flourish, and what did you learn from him at the time?
Well, I mean, he was a great player, and he came in, and Jackie Sherrill had a position for him, and gave him the position right off the bat, and he did great. And I was on the other side behind a fifth-year senior, so I had to kind of share my time with him because he was already been there 5 years. That was his 5th year, so it worked out good for me, and it worked out good for Hugh Green.
Rickey, let's stay at Pitt and talk about what you remember about Dan Marino at the time. And obviously you guys are both Hall of Famers, and, just maybe in practices and what you remember about his development and your development at the same time down there at Pitt. Talk to us about Dan Marino and some of maybe the bright spots you saw from him that led to a great career.
Well, I mean, when he got there, man, he was special. You can see it. I mean, everything he did was special. And, he had a great arm, and he was just a great quarterback from day one. And if you get open, he was going to get you the ball. And, man, he was a great kid when he came in, and we got to be great friends and hang out. And, his parents and all of us was great friends and stuff. So he was just like a brother from day one.
Rickey, did you guys flirted with some undefeated seasons when you were at Pitt, right?
Yeah, we ended up losing, I think, 4 years, 6 games.
Wow. You ever think about that? Think about those college days, and maybe if you would have just won that one more game, or is that just something that disappears in your mind?
Well, it disappeared. We had a great year. We went 11-1 2 years in a row. You can't beat that. So I mean, then we beat George Rogers and them in the Gator Bowl when he was a Heisman Trophy winner, and Hugh Green come in like second or something like that. So we had some great years up there at Pitt.
So you get drafted in 1981 in the second round, and you end up in New Orleans. Rickey, was there maybe anywhere else you wanted to go, or did you just have that mentality that I'm going to the NFL, I'm going to take advantage of my opportunity no matter where I go?
Right, that's what my attitude was. I mean, I was just wanting to play. I mean, I knew that I was one of the best, so I just wanted to get the opportunity to get on a team and start my career.
Did you ever feel that despite your amazing career, that you were in New Orleans at the time, you weren't contending too much early, and maybe that you wouldn't get to the Hall of Fame because of that, the lack of team success?
No, because individual stats and stuff going to put me in. I mean, I was right there with LT. I mean, I got a lot of stats better than his stats, so it was going to be hard to keep me out.
So right out of the gate in your rookie year, you hit the ground running. You played in a whole bunch of games. You were on the NFL all-rookie team. Rickey, what was that maybe welcome to the NFL moment for you? Was there a specific player you went up against, a specific game you can remember playing in where you were like, okay, I've finally arrived?
Well, like I tell everybody, when I played with Jackie Slater, when I played against him and played against Walter Payton, those were my goals to do good against those guys because those were the people that everybody were watching around the world. So it was just, me trying to make sure I do good against those guys, coming up was the key to it.
Talking to Hall of Famer Rickey Jackson, part of the Dome Patrol with the New Orleans Saints back in the day. And if you didn't know about those guys, he'll tell you about them. You had you and Pat Swilling on the outside, Sam Mills and Vaughn Johnson on the inside. When you guys came together in the mid-'80s, how did that feel every Sunday?
I mean, it felt good. We know that we was going to terrorize some people, so that was the whole key, And then you had to try to make a play before those guys make a play, and that was the bottom line. Those guys are gonna make plays. So if you wanted to do something, you had to try to get there before those guys get there.
You have so many amazing numbers, and one that's really jumped out to me is not only are you the all-time leading tackler in Saints history, but you're second all-time in franchise history in sacks and getting after the quarterback. So, Rickey, just talk about the skill set and how you were able to not only fly around and handle your business there, but get home and get to the quarterbacks. How did that development come along for you throughout the years?
Well, I was at Pitt more. I was a defensive player that would cover guys, and I just got to the point where covering guys, covering the tight end, and covering the running backs out the backfield, you wasn't getting no credit for that. So the sack thing came about that's where you get your credit from. So that's what made me start wanting to get more quarterback sacks, because people weren't recognizing the sacks. They weren't recognizing you covering guys. So that what made me start rushing the passer more.
Rickey Jackson, class of 2010, Canton, Ohio. He is back this weekend. You can meet and greet Saturday from 1 to 2 in Canton at the Hall. For all pros, let me ask you this. When did you fall in love with football? Was it always football, or was there another sport that intrigued you?
Well, I started off with baseball, and I played baseball, and I thought I was going to be a great baseball player, but it was just something about the hitting thing that led me over to football.
But let me ask you this, because I would think most of these guys that are as athletic as you had an offensive flair too. In high school, you did play tight end in high school, correct?
All right, I played tight end in high school. I caught like 8 touchdowns. I was good, but my whole thing was, catching the ball, the quarterback leading you in bad position and stuff. You can get hurt. So it was better for me for defense, where I didn't have to worry about nobody hitting me, and not being able to protect myself.
So we touched on your rookie year, and when you got to the league, your head coach was Bum Phillips, and he's one of those figures. His name kind of has lived on throughout the years in the sport. So you get to New Orleans, and Bum Phillips is there. What was he like as a head coach?
Well, he was a Rickey Jackson guy, so it was special to me. So, he had his hat. He got me a hat. And it was just special. We had a good relationship.
That's awesome, man. It's great to have you back in Ohio. One of the fiercest defenders this game has ever seen. Do you still watch the game? Do you pay attention? Are you glued into the NFL now, or not as much?
I'm not glued in like I used to be. The older I get, the more, it doesn't change. I mean, the game is not the same as it used to be, and guys can't hit like they used to. So there's a lot of stuff now, the kickoff return, all that stuff done changed. So I play golf sometime. I don't follow it like I used to.
Let me ask you. Yeah, it's going from I laugh, I chuckle because you were one of the biggest hitters ever, and golf is such a casual game. But so you don't really like the game the way it's transformed now, or do you feel like they've made some changes that are better for players? Because you talked about not getting injured.
They watered it down a little bit just for the guys to for their future, not to get hurt and not to get out the game, not being able to function and stuff. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect the players when they get out of football. So, I mean, I don't have nothing against it because it was violent sports, but it was just made to be violent. So if you're going to take some of that away, then, you just have to look at it that away that, you can't hit people low no more. There's a lot of stuff you can't do anymore. But the game's still a good game.
I saw that you went back to Pitt and got your degree at age 65. It's pretty impressive. That was important to you?
It was more important than anything because that's what my mother wanted. My mother always wanted all her kids to graduate, and all of them graduate. And I was the only one left that hadn't did it, and so it made it, where I had to go back and do it.
that ring you got in San Francisco, that must have made it all worth everything. Not that your time in New Orleans, you loved your time in New Orleans, but how cool was it to be able to leave this game with a Super Bowl ring?
Well, it was real special. But, I mean, going back and playing with the guys you played with a lot of great guys on that team. A lot of them went there for that Super Bowl, and all those guys. But my whole thing is ain't no ring like the Hall of Fame ring.
What do you remember about having to come back after the car accident, and no one thought you'd come back that fast? And then the jaw, did you have your jaw wired shut? You had to have the special face mask. Tell us what that time was like.
They made me a good helmet. They made me a good face mask, man. They put a lot of money into that, and they built that up real good so I can play.
It was very neat, man. Not that you weren't intimidating without it, but with it, it was something fierce. I hope you have a great time back in football heaven. It's so cool to have you back in Ohio. And for the fans, Saturday 1 to 2, you can meet and greet with Rickey Jackson. You can't miss him. He'll be the one in the gold jacket. Rickey, best to you. Be well and enjoy this time. Thanks for the interview.
All right, man. Appreciate you.